Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Cutting Edge Install Podcast, brought to you by Omnicubed, where innovation meets installation and everything literally in between. I'm your host, Mervyn Campbell, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. This podcast is about pros and about the extraordinary people who do wonderful things, not only here in the US, but across the world. And today we have one of the most recognizable faces in the glass industry, Mr. Andrew Haring. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, sir. We're going to get into some questions. We're going to learn a little bit more about him. So whether you're on the job, whether you're on the road, or you're looking to stay sharp, you've come to the right place. So let's get cracking, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. It's an absolute pleasure. So for listeners who maybe don't know who you are, or maybe vaguely know who you are, can you tell us and me a little bit more about your journey, how you got into the glass industry, how did you get involved in like different organizations, and then where you're at today at FHC?
Oh boy, how much time you got slotted for this?
We can edit a lot. We can dub my mouths and get it quickly. No, I'm just kidding.
The trick is getting me to stop talking.
That'll be good. Go for it.
I'm a pretty open book. I've shared just about any story I've got, and happy to do more. And maybe you'll dig and find something I haven't turned over yet.
Yep, awesome.
I have a lot of pent up trauma I got to work through. The glass industry, I don't know. It sounds trite, and anyone that's heard me talk about it has probably heard me say it a few times. But I've yet to find a strong argument that counters this philosophy or this. I guess it's a hypothesis. There's only two entry points to the glass industry.
Yes.
Either your daddy's daddy did it,
yeah, or
it was just sheer happenstance, just random accident. Like you found it and you fell in love, and it's really hard to get out.
Yeah.
And I'm in the latter. I've got some background in building materials and construction, but if you asked little Andrew if he was going to be in the glass industry, he probably would have said, "What the F is the glass industry?"
What's going on
got
here?
Smacked by my parents for
the
totally. Language. But yeah, so that's I kind of stumbled into it in a really roundabout way. But I mean, I wouldn't have changed any of it. Just learning a lot through the kind of clunky, atypical process or non-traditional.
Yeah.
I grew up, I went to school. I drew. I was an artist or wanted to be an artist. I drew ever since I could hold a pencil as a kid. And so I went to school for art. Meanwhile, while I was going to school, I always worked construction gigs, construction or demolition. I like being outside and working with my hands. I was better at demolition than construction.
Yeah.
But I always fancied myself or saw a path, something in visual arts, and that kind of dovetailed with marketing, into graphic design. So I worked construction through school and then got scooped pretty quickly by an architectural firm, and that was a total luck of the draw there is too. Part of the requisite to graduate, if you wanted to walk in the ceremony, you had to attend this career fair and meet with X amount of companies that were there.
Totally.
And me, I'm a total, pardon the language, just a dickhead at the time. It was important for me to walk. I was the only one in my family, the first person to graduate college. Yeah. And so I wanted to do it for me, for my parents, for that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this career fair.
Yep.
And I just blindly signed up for the first 3 companies on the list. And I showed up, brought my portfolio, and just really phoned it in. I was planning what I was going to do after school. And I mean, looking back, total idiot. I mean, just the opportunity. I mean, thank goodness, or thank whoever you think, the school had that program hardwired in, that it was a requisite that you had to get out there and you had to go talk and meet with folks.
Yep.
Because, I mean, otherwise I'd still be, breaking big rocks into smaller rocks.
Yep.
With a rivet buster.
There you go.
So yeah, and then one of the companies I met with happened to be a local architectural firm. Well, they're national now, but KTGY. They were looking to grow their marketing department, and they had in-house artists there. and they seemed to find an opportunity for me there. And I went in, I went through the motion, showed them my stuff, had the chat, got the heck out, and was on the drive back, and the phone rang already, and they said, "We want you to come in." I was like, "Oh,
wow, that's awesome."
Okay. So I started just working there. I was doing renderings for design proposals, just all sorts of their marketing collateral, and then at the time the market this was what year would this have been? 2000. It was right at one of the big downturns here in the U.S. economy and the housing market, and they were deeply ingrained on the residential side, and so there was some natural herd thinning that happened there. And so what every company has to do under those circumstances, do more with less. And so I took on more responsibility. I started having to learn how to write specifications there, and so I kind of evolved from there. And then that segued into another opportunity. We worked with a design build firm that did environmental graphics and wayfinding, JB3D. And so it was a fab shop, but they also had a design department there, and we had worked with them. And so I liked what they were doing. So I went down that path, and it was there that, I was still designing, but it was a fab shop. And so I had to figure out if I wanted something to look like how it looked like on my screen or on my paper. I had to learn how to build the thing. And so I learned how to do shop drawings there. And
awesome.
And so the one constant in both of those spots is that there was always a C.R. Lawrence catalog there. Wow. If you're anywhere adjacent to the glass and glazing game and don't know that name, then you've been doing it wrong.
Exactly.
And so there was some familiarity there, and then beyond that, I got a call from a colleague and a friend that said, "Hey, we want you to come down to CRL and talk to us. Mr. Freeze wants to meet you." And at the time, I said, I don't want to go there in Vernon. It's like an armpit of Southeast LA, just total industrial zone. And I said, I don't know who Mr. Freeze is. I said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And so again, my stubbornness has been blessed with people more patient, and I've been given many opportunities to try again or be reminded of said opportunities. And so finally I went down and I met the team there, and I met with a man named Don Freeze, who was at that point the CEO and chairman of C.R. Lawrence, and that's a whole nother story to look up there. There's plenty of written on the books there. Or over a beer, I'll gush and tell you everything I know. But again, still not 100% sold on the glass industry or CRL or anything at all, but that experience opened my eyes. I saw how he ran the company. I saw just the leadership there. I mean, this was, at that point, he was a very successful man in the industry, and you could tell immediately, it was an honor that he took the time, and he spent the better part of a day with me. Yeah. Just asking me questions and showing me around. He showed me around the whole facility, the whole compound there, and I was just impressed. I mean, he's the tippy top of that empire, and he took time with a nobody, and he introduced me to everyone. He knew everyone's name, whether they were stocking a shelf, pushing a broom, or on the executive team. And I was impressed by that, and so. Oh yeah. Fast forward, I'm still probably getting too wordy with this condensed.
No, you're good. You're good. This is awesome. This is good for me, if not even the listeners. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So at the end, the meeting concluded with something to the effect of, at CRL, it's still America, and you work hard, you can go somewhere. And then he said, "What are you going to do for me?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I don't know.
I don't know what I'm going to do."
I said, "I don't know, but I'm in. Let's figure it out."
Okay.
And that launched me into the glass industry, just getting on the glass and glazing supplies and hardware side. And I started there, low man. It was the gift was an opportunity, but beyond that, it was you had to work and earn your keep and find your own path to grow. But the path was provided, but you certainly had to duke it out.
You got to walk it.
At that point, I was less gray and weathered. I was still a younger pup,
Yep.
And so it was a climb. I mean, I went from working in their advertising department, just lowest rung of the ladder there, and then just was given opportunities to prove myself and to provide value or add value. Ended up starting the architectural business development team there, and then inevitably I became the vice president of marketing there, and I was there for about 10 years. And
Wow.
in that span, I learned a lot about the industry, just the supply chain, just spending so much time with glazers, glazing contractors, just learning the game. That taught me so much of what I've carried with me, and is what
That's
has gotten me
awesome.
to wherever I may be now.
Today, yep.
So yeah, and then after that, there's some side route stories in there, but I ended up leaving at a time that was good for me.
Yeah.
I'm still thankful for everything that job provided for me, but there was just circumstances that arose that it was time for me to leave. Just some leadership changes, and I didn't want to do harm, but I just knew it wasn't for me there anymore, and so I had some phenomenal relationships with the National Glass Association.
Yes.
Just being we were a member, we were an advertiser, we were an exhibitor. I volunteered on some of their committees. Like we helped produce a lot of their technical documents. And so I had those relationships built in.
Yes.
And then just word got out that I was available, and they reached out, and I said, I know this much about associations. And they said, perfect. We don't want an association guy. We want an industry guy.
Yeah.
So that was good. It was a neutral move that was, I gave me an opportunity to stay in the industry.
Yes.
And move, kind of laterally in a way that wasn't going to do harm. Like I knew I didn't want to be at CRO anymore, but I didn't want to outright, run against them. I could have gotten scooped by any competitor that was ready to, leverage me to tear it apart. And I didn't want that. So NGA was a very good, just neutral position.
Awesome.
And again, I got to learn so much at NGA because they created a position for me that just put me out there in that world in a way that even opened my eyes to avenues and areas that I hadn't seen or wasn't aware of or well versed in. I mean, just getting to go all over the country, all over the world, seeing all levels from floaters to fabricators to installers to glazers to everything in between.
Yes.
I got to meet the world, and the world got to meet me.
There you
that's
go.
Good or bad, but
big time. Yep.
And I was there for almost 6 years, and then I got a call from some of my old colleagues that I had known for many moons and had grown with and worked with and trusted, and they said it was time to come home, and I've now been with FHC for just a hair over a year now, so I'm back in the for-profit side. There you go. Which I loved my experience at NGA and with the nonprofit trade association side. But I think I'm a little better suited on this side of the fence, I guess.
Yep.
So,
given your wisdom,
I got to reunite with a team that there's already baked in trust. I know the playbook, I know the people, and I can enter back into a side of the industry that I'd missed a little, but I could immediately hit the ground running. It wasn't. I like loyalty a lot. Yeah. I'm not. I don't think that's the current trend for young professionals. It used to be kind of a scarlet letter to look at a resume and see like every year, every other year,
changing jobs,
bouncing around.
Totally. Yeah.
But now it's kind of the norm. People want to learn more, get exposed more. But I'm, for the right team, for the right captain, carrying the right flag, I'll stay and I'll die on any hill.
Yeah, preach it, brother. Preach it for sure. Yep.
And so it wasn't a big leap. It felt right, and it still feels right. So I'm back into the glass and glazing supply manufacturing.
Awesome.
Ticket.
back home, as you said. That's so cool.
That's about as short as I can make that story.
There you go.
Where are we at on time? We're already 15 minutes into this.
Yeah, if people don't know your history after that, sorry, we're going to have to just go get a beer, and it's going to be a whole night experience. So yeah.
Oh yeah, if you want to know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, there you go. So kind of piggybacking onto that, you mentioned you were into drawing, you were into like art, all of those things. I'm guessing, I'm just throwing this out here, I'm not sure, but a lot of your stickers, a lot of like different things you produce, is that you?
A lot of it. Yeah. So that's been kind of a way for me to kind of combine some of those worlds. Still grasping onto some of the creative outlets that I like, but channeling it into ways that kind of resonate with a glazing and construction audience.
Yeah. Some of those, if you don't have them, I've got a couple in a water bottle down actually in my office that this man produced. They're pretty darn awesome. And they're a little bit out there, some of them. There's one of them in particular, it kind of looks like a in and out place, but it's not in and out, but it's legit. I really liked it. So yeah, good job, man.
Well, they haven't sued me yet.
Yeah, there you go. Nor have they given you any, maybe no free burgers either. So, there's the middle ground. Oh, dear, good stuff. So you're known for phrases. You have one on your hat currently, not a glass nerd. How did that come about? How is that part of your identity in the industry? And, people tend to know you kind of by that phrase. Where on earth did that come from?
It happens pretty organically. I mean, it wasn't like some strategic sit down figuring out some messaging that was going to stick.
Yeah.
I mean, in this world, in any world, and certainly anything with creative outlets, I mean, you throw a lot of stuff at the wall and you're not sure what's going to stick, and then you just run with what does. I just had an idea to slap it on a hat. Originally said glass nerd, just as something that, lighthearted. Yeah, almost kind of empowering a term and kind of taking it back, like nerd had such a negative connotation if you grew up in the 80s.
Yep.
That's the last thing you wanted to be, but it's okay to know stuff and be a smart person. So kind of wanted to kind of neutralize the negative connotation there and just have something goofy that, you get stopped and people will ask you about it, whether in the glass industry or not. So that's where that kind of stemmed from. And then so I started wearing one for myself. There's another side. I used to never wear hats, but now I always wear hats. So that's okay. For some medical reasons. I had some skin cancer issues, and so when I was told to always wear a hat, I figured if I got to wear a hat, I'm gonna make it my own.
Got to make it worthwhile. Yep, big time.
So now it became kind of a part of a signature look, I guess, which has its blessings because I can go pretty incognito if I'm not wearing the hat.
Dude,
but I'm pretty easy to find in a crowd.
If you've got it on, yep, isn't that the truth? No,
and then so I just now it's the not a glass nerd. There I had some disagreements with some folks on I've left the glass nerd with NGA for some legal reasons.
Okay.
So I'm just I'll still support it, but I'm not allowed to have that on my head anymore.
Well, I can attest that if anybody's listening or watching to this podcast and they want to know anything, I mean literally anything about glazing or anything to do with glass, this guy is the guy to go to. I've been watching him from afar for probably the last 3 years and have learned more from him and Max. So we'll throw Max in there too because he's another guru.
But I think you're being generous.
No, I'm not.
Max is an entirely different.
Well, he is.
Than I am.
He's in a different Yoda level, but you're up there. You're definitely one for sure. So listen, if you guys, I don't know, maybe this is going too far, but if you've got any questions, this man, anytime you're at a trade show, anytime you see him at an event, he always has a crowd of people around him. He is a popular guy because he's willing to give knowledge away. And that's something in these days that's unheard of. A lot of people, kind of the bunny hopping from job to job, people love to just, keep everything to themselves. This is my information. If I give it away, someone's going to be on a same level playing field. That's not the case.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
I think there's a maturity level there too. I mean, you'll still run into some old codgers that still have that mentality that job security. Yep. If I keep it all banked here, I'm safe.
It's big time.
You know what? It's just my nature. I'm gonna try to help someone if I can. Absolutely. And I still maintain you're being very generous with your assessment of me.
No, definitely.
I've just been around a lot of things. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've messed up a lot of things. I made a lot of mistakes, and those are the best lessons.
That is.
But I think I've found value, and I don't need to know everything, but I've found a way to surround myself with people that do, and so. Yeah. If I don't know the answer, I can probably find it faster than a lot of folks. People. And I'm always down to help anybody, whether it's a business purpose that serves my wants and needs, my company's best interest.
Totally.
Or you could be a competitor or just even in a subset of this industry that has nothing to do with me, or there's no tit for tat, or, it's not, there doesn't have to be value other than just trying to be a resource for someone that needed someone, because you never know. One day I'm going to be in a pinch and I'm going to need a friend, and I'm going to need to call someone, and I'm going to have a question. I need a solution, and the more you can open up and share, ideate, collaborate, it makes everything better. And that's the glass industry. That's any industry I could imagine.
Yeah, totally. So kind of on that, I don't know about FHC, but for us, even where we are, like manufacturing and things, it's very difficult to attract new people. Like, it's very difficult to get people to come work, and even the younger generation, especially. In your eyes, how do you feel the glass industry is doing in attracting new people, training them, trying to get that sort of next generation of skilled workers? Because I'm 42. I'm not going to be around a long time. There are other people who are older than me, and we got to look to that next generation. So kind of how do you feel that the glass industry is attracting people, or maybe it's not? What do we do about it?
Well, it's not for lack of trying that I've witnessed. It's just a big ass hill to climb.
Yeah.
And I mean, you nailed it though. Just the generational gap. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more people retiring, exiting the industry at a rate that's a lot quicker pace than we're backfilling with people entering this industry. And there's factors in there that are, we could always do better, we could always do more, but there's also there's competing factors as well that are tough to account for and compensate for.
Yes.
There's this attitude, there's an assumption that a lot of kids or young adults get fed early on, I mean, our present company included, that, okay, you do it right, you go to school, you go to college, you get your degree, and the universe provides. Yeah. And it's not, and there's no malintent there. Like, it's not a bad thing, parents encouraging their kids to go more and do more. I was the same, but I haven't done shit with my degree. But that mentality, I think, is damaging. And so I think if a kid isn't exposed to working with your hands or the skilled trades, mm-hmm. and it's not presented as a viable career path, it doesn't even have a shot. It wasn't even at the table. Like, if it's not presented as an option, then it's never going to win. If you can't get it, at least the awareness early on, it's a losing battle right out of the gate. Yeah. And so it's just the system is kind of, it's correcting itself a little in certain pockets, mm-hmm. but just that every high school that I grew up around in Southern California, they got rid of their vocational schools. Yep. There's not even wood shop or auto body.
None of that anymore.
And so I understand that there's a balance there. Like, okay, you do need to shift and have training courses and classes for technology, and just to stay with the times. But there's always going to be a spot for someone that knows how to fix something, knows how to build something, and it's just we're we've kind of forgotten the importance of that.
Totally.
So I think just figuring out how to kind of correct those that kind of misdirection, I think is still very much important, and people are certainly trying. You'll find some folks, like even just individual glazing companies that are just more forward thinking, more progressive. They're out there at the career fairs.
Yes.
You'll see associations. I spent my time with the National Glass Association. Now I volunteer for the California Glass Association.
Oh yeah.
And they're making noted efforts in ways that haven't been done of just engaging. They're building recruitment packets,
Yes.
So obviously an association of X amount of people can't conquer the world and fix all the problems, but they can create tools and equip other companies out there
to do that,
and just disseminate so much faster.
Yeah.
But it takes some adoption, to that mentality.
Totally. Yeah, I have a 15-year-old boy who really loves to work with his hands. Like, he's big into RC cars, and he basically whacks them into trees, and then loves the fact of buying the parts fairly cheap, fixing them, putting them back together. And so as a parent, I look at that and I go, that's what he really wants to do. So I'm gonna encourage that and help
Absolutely.
him. And it's like, there's times that we have opportunities even in our work to bring them in, like days that we bring our kids in or whatever. Those are so vital at a young age to kind of open their eyes that it's not all computers and everything is like data and no, there's like a CNC operator or a machine operator or a saw or an assembler.
Technology, robotics, everything
totally.
In between.
Yep, it's unbelievable, but giving them the perspective of there's more out there. And I think a lot of people, sadly, don't like to get their hands dirty anymore. But what we're finding here is the people who are getting their hands dirty are starting to make the money, because there are few and far between. So plumbers, electrician, welders, it's like you can't find them, so they can be like, well, this is what it costs. You got to pay it. So
that's what I tell them. I have 3 daughters, and I tell them all the time. I was like, we're going to teach you how to weld. Like, you do that, you can write your own ticket anywhere.
Dude.
I mean, it's also, there's the other outside influences too. Kids and even adults are just force fed so much horse shit. We have so many people that are just delusional. Like, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to be a video game designer.
Totally.
Like,
okay. Well, let's see how that operates. That's not going to work. So
buy some lottery tickets too, but
yeah, there you go.
The world doesn't need another communications major, I'll tell you that. It
does not. No, it needs people to work hard. But anyways, so FHC, where you're working at currently now, is known for like innovative hardware, just the latest and greatest things. I had a chance to walk past the booth at Glass Build last year and just saw some of the awesome equipment. What is FHC looking for even in the future? Is there any cool things that are coming up? What things are you pushing? Like, what are you currently working at? And then how do you see like kind of equipment that we make? How do you see that working together with you guys to kind of improve like a system and help like installers?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so it's FHC is kind of it's obviously I'm biased and I'm gonna position it in a very positive light, but if you take the rose-colored glasses off, I've heard the same observations from people that don't get paid to say it. So I mean, as much as we pride ourselves on innovation, I mean, we really want to push things to next levels. Yeah. But we also want to preserve and return to a lot of just traditional dynamics that have gone by the wayside. Just prioritize the customer, provide the best customer service. It's not a complicated playbook in so many ways.
Yeah.
And so just kind of a return to what that, supplier dynamic can and should be, maintaining that, just to have that trust, and then also being a resource to invest and to find ways to make our customers' lives easier. And those go hand in hand. Yeah. Like, I'm going to make sure if you call, someone knowledgeable is going to answer the phone. they're going to help you. Because if you're calling, you got a problem. You know, you're not calling to shoot the shit and chit chat.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a phone a friend, and you need someone's help. Yep. And so you need someone that, one, answers the phone. You'll find that's rarer these days. But two,
big time.
And also, you know, they're not randomly trying to look through the same catalog you're trying to look through and learn as you learn.
Exactly.
So investing in the people is huge. But then on just the innovation side, it comes back to making glazers' lives easier. How can, you know, everything we're talking about is all connected. We talk about labor shortage and, you know, that gap. And so people have to do more with less, you know. Fewer people on a crew, fewer people in a shop. Glass is getting bigger. Everyone wants bigger stuff. And so we try to find ways to just make things easier to install, simplify, that'll meet the code easier, you know, simplify things. And so innovation is actually, you know, things can get a lot more complicated, but they can also get easier that's the underlying drive there.
Totally.
And then with equipment like, you know, Omnicubed, I mean, I love your guys' all of your systems. I mean, I love that they're homegrown, they're engineered. I mean, it's not, you guys aren't just, you know, buying something and slapping a label on it. You guys are getting down and you come, you know, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, the roots are from the stone industry. And so we're working with a bunch of flat, heavy stuff and, you know, delivering a better product. There's more, you know, sell value. If you're trying to compete on price, that's a race to the bottom. But, you know, a quality product, there's so much more value in something that's cheap or, you know, cost effective. And so those things that we just kind of touched on, you know, architects, owners, they want bigger glass. They want bigger windows, bigger doors. We have less people. So my hardware needs to accommodate these bigger systems. They need to be easy to install still. And they need to accommodate, you know, higher codes and regulations and guidelines and just sheer weight, just physics. And systems like Omnicubes, racks and dollies and carts and handling equipment, you're going to be able to move these things without, you know, bursting your back, you know, slipping a disc.
Because that's it. That's game over. Once that happens, unless you have a really good surgeon on speed dial, you're in a lot of trouble.
Wow, I mean, for the older range, mid older range guys like you and I mean, I can step down a stair the wrong way on my ankle and be out of the game for a week.
Big time.
I used to have that tough guy mentality, you know, try to break as few rocks as possible when you're busting up concrete because you wanted to make fewer trips to the truck. Me now,
not
I'm
anymore.
Break it into a million smaller pieces and find a better way to carry it there.
Oh, that's hilarious!
I think that's also kind of, again, with the maturity. I think the industry's evolving. That tough guy mentality. You know, like just you got to do it safely because you got to be. You're talking about your livelihood. And, you know, you got to be able to show up and do it again tomorrow. And I mean, it could also be not just an injury. It could be a life type thing, you know. That's the thing. There's bad stuff can happen.
It's scary.
You're working around machinery, heavy items, and if you're on a job site, you're around a bunch of people you don't know. You don't know what training they have. You don't know what safety culture they have. And so it's just like driving on the freeway. You can be the best driver, and you could just get totally annihilated
walloped
by some Yahoo not paying attention.
Crazy.
So I think they're all inherently connected.
Connected for sure. If someone, we've got, you know, we're trying to promote young people coming in, we're trying to promote, you know, bringing people into this industry. If you could basically make a starter pack, a nerd starter pack, what sort of like information would you give them? What tooling would you recommend? Is there books you would recommend? Is there like training that you would, you know, push them towards, or is it jump in the deep end? Here we're back. We had a glitch. Don't know who that was, but we'll see. Anyways, we're here. Kind of if we were to create the glass nerd starter pack, what would that look like? What resources would you recommend? That sort of thing.
You know, I think it starts with character. And again, I can just speak to the stuff that I've learned by doing it wrong. Check your ego as fast as you can. And and it goes against your DNA when you're 18 years old until you're 30. 30, I don't know. Whatever. Some people haven't let go of it still.
Some people even still. Yep, absolutely.
But just check your ego. Just be genuine.
Yeah.
It's okay to know things, but try to be the dumbest guy or gal in every room. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but also don't be afraid to jump in. Like I think safely with the right PPE and the right handling equipment, of course.
Yeah.
But just do it, and you can figure out a lot by just having a kind of an ingrained nature of curiosity. Like don't assume that you know what's right. Yeah. Don't assume that you know what's best, and don't be afraid of being embarrassed, or don't think that you'll be embarrassed by asking the questions.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, if you can figure that out, you're gonna go farther than I have, a lot faster than I did. Yeah. But that's easier said than done. I mean, it's hindsight, retrospect, I can say, sure,
yeah, absolutely, yep. But when you are that
hands in my younger years, no.
Yeah, there you go.
So I mean, in terms of resources, just take every opportunity to learn that you can. Yeah. Spend your own time learning. Get out. I mean, if you want to be in the trades, if you want to be in the glass industry, go spend some time on a job site. If you're not a glazer, go with one of your customers. I'm sure the boss will approve it. Just say, I really want to learn this industry.
Absolutely.
And you're going to learn faster by doing than by reading anything or listening to anything or watching anything.
Yeah, totally. Hands on.
Just immerse yourself in that world as fast as possible. And books. I mean, I could go forever on books, but in terms of the industry, the forever Bible in my world was always the GANA Glass Association of North America, which is now merged with the NGA. But their glazing design manual was just about on every desk and every shelf of anyone that knew anything about when I was coming up. And I still have one in my office. I put it in our conference room here. I mean, it's just awesome. It's a good kind of best practice for a lot of broad level items, and then go to sit in on webinars. There's so much information out there like never before. Yeah. I mean, there's some podcasts, but I mean, there's so many free webinars, free access. Yeah. myglassclass.com. You can get either free or very affordable courses there. Learnglazing.com, the free. It's just, you got to invest your time. I mean, that's the investment, but it is an investment. Totally. And the more you can step up, show that initiative, and differentiate yourself, you're going to become dangerous. The good kind of dangerous.
Yeah, big time.
You're going to be skipping ahead of the other ones that expect something to be handed, or that think they knew it already and don't need to do it. They were too proud or too stubborn to try to learn more.
Yeah, totally.
And get a glass cutter. That should be in your kit too.
There you go.
Learn how to, even if you're not the most hands-on or construction savvy. If you're more on the technical side, you're an engineer, you want to get more on that angle of it. If you're going to be in the industry, know what a glass cutter is and learn how to cut glass.
There you go.
You'll earn some street cred with the old dogs quick. Yep,
totally. Awesome. So when Andrew's not deep in glass and all things glass and everything glass, what's something that people may be surprised to learn about you, or what are some of your hobbies or go-tos to kind of release from the glass industry?
I got the kiddos, and so I try to engage and be present as much as possible. I'm not as valuable on the sidelines for the ballerina in the family.
No, okay.
You'll see me mixing it up with other angry dads on softball fields.
Nice. Yep.
Good. Allegedly sometimes ejected, but
oh, come on.
No, I try to hang out with my kids a lot, and just whatever that looks like. Sometimes I get them to help me with fun projects in the garage, whatever. Hobbies, I like old cars.
Nice.
My baby right now, I've got a 64 Chevy dually glass truck.
Wow.
That sits here at the shop here at FHC with me, and so I like to play with that thing a bit, and so there's only so many hours in the day. I like doing that. I used to do a little woodworking, and that was another fun outlet to bring my kids into again.
That's cool.
Back in the day, I used to box a little, not so much these days.
Okay.
I'm easier to hurt, but
oh man, excellent, good stuff. So where do you see the glass industry going? So we're in 2025. Obviously COVID came through. We've kind of gone what we feel kind of into the doldrums a little bit. Things are slow. We're wondering, are we ever going to pick back up? Are things going to be booming again? So like, where do you see the glass industry heading in like the next 5 to 10 years?
That's like
you got a crystal ball?
I got an 8-ball. Like I
guess we'll have to take that one.
That's probably
as close as we're going to get.
Predictable.
Yeah,
it's going to go where you don't want it to go, and it could end you.
Dear.
It's really tough to read. I mean, I think if anyone truly had that crystal ball, they would be. You wouldn't see or hear from them ever again. Nope. COVID was definitely a wake up call, and tragic for a lot of companies.
Sad.
That I've known personally and just heard in roundabout ways that just couldn't make it. But I mean, we're still in murky waters that have nothing to do with COVID. There's just, supply chain issues. I mean, it comes down to interest rates, construction starts, stops, stalls. But it all depends on where you live and who you ask.
That's the thing.
Some folks I know are going gangbusters and, are turning down work, or, their backlogs are all the way through 2026. Yeah. If you're more job to job, smaller crew, and you're, it's, you don't know. It's always good to diversify, whether that means the services you can provide.
Yes.
Or the products you carry,
yes,
or your supply chain diversification. Like, don't put all your eggs and don't just be a windshield replacement person.
There you go.
Diversify. Because I remember, like, even before COVID, during some of the we had some big economic uncertainty. 15 years ago, the first recession. I mean, I knew glass shops that were, the phone rings, you just say yes. It's just like
whatever it is, you do it.
Oh, you need a custom mirror table? Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that. No problem. Totally.
So I mean, I'm an optimist, but I kind of hybrid with a realist.
Yes.
I don't believe the sky is always falling, but I don't think you can take anything for granted. I think all you can ever do is try to safeguard yourself in ways, control the things you can.
Yep.
But there's just so many things that are outside of your control. I can't control interest rates. I can't control whatever.
Control
but
tariffs.
I do
we
know
can't control any of it. Yep.
I know this industry to be resilient and resourceful and just downright scrappy.
Yeah.
And so I think the fighters are going to fight and persevere. And I think there's going to be sadly some folks that weren't willing or in a position to adapt or adopt. And those are the hard lessons. Yeah. But I think, there's factors that are beyond economics, geopolitical things, pandemics, that just fall in. I mean, there's energy codes that come into place too that are a huge threat to glass, as a whole.
Yep.
I mean, in terms of, and so you just got to keep advancing, keep adapting, and keep innovating. I mean, so glass has to do more. Yep. Otherwise, it's just going to be another solid brick wall.
Yep, that's the thing.
You'll have a very sad office like this with no windows.
No windows in it at all. Totally.
I'm actually in my penthouse suite with my sweet view of Dodger Stadium.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
You need to get back to your demo day and take that wall out. Yep. Little small pebbles.
Come down quick.
Take it out quick for sure. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, we've the getting your eggs out of one basket is it's challenging. It's hard work, but the rewards are actually really good. We have good suppliers that supply us, but all it could take is one phone call or whatever, and they're gone. They're no longer, and then we're left going, well, what do we do? So it is good to do that.
It's tough because it's way too easy. I mean, it's just like a relationship. It's so
Yeah.
easy to just get comfortable.
Totally.
And why change it? Why fix it if it ain't broke? And if you're just absolutely annihilating it, killing it, crushing it on frameless showers, and you have 5 good years and you made this mint, and then suddenly, hypothetically, something takes a shift and showers are banned. Like, okay, well, what do I do?
What do we do now? Yeah.
I mean, internally, I think a lot of places have this kind of policy. Just with personnel, with your staff. It's what if they get hit by a bus or win the lottery? They're just gone the next day.
Absolutely.
You can't have these little points of that are just gonna destruct everything. You can't have these linchpins that if that leg of that table goes, the whole table falters.
Go on.
And that simple mentality kind of can go across an entire company, across an industry.
Yeah.
And if you just put yourself out there and open your eyes to what is out there, I mean, you're going to find stuff that you weren't even looking for.
No.
And maybe what you were doing and what was winning and working 10 years ago is you haven't touched or even thought about again.
Totally.
It's easy to pontificate and hypothesize, but
totally, absolutely, yeah. It's good to have owners who are not afraid of change, because sometimes that can be a problem where it's like, no, it's working, it's doing good. I'm more of the, no, let's change it. Let's do it different than we did yesterday. Is there anything we could improve upon? And to have owners who back you in that, who actually push that themselves is phenomenal. Such a blessing to have. So if you
it's incredibly liberating and just empowering to have someone that'll have your back, and it's okay to fail.
It is okay. We're all going to fail, but
I'm
get up and get on.
Like, I know what's what about a lot of things. If at the end of my chain, whatever's at the end of the line, if you look at the blooper reel of Andrew Haring, holy shit, man. You're going to...
there's a lot. Yep. Yeah, we're definitely going to need that beer to sit down and watch the ball. That's for sure. Oh, dear. If Andrew could solve one major issue in the glass industry, what would he pick and what would it be?
Oh, just one?
You're only allowed one, okay? We don't want, we haven't got all night here. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if I had the magic wand, silver bullet that could figure out the labor issue, that's gonna solve a lot of problems.
Yeah,
because that goes across the board from the folks that design and specify, to the folks that make the product, to the folks that install the product, to the folks that make the supplies, that install the things you install. That's a very common symptom that just if you could crack that code. But I mean, that's a hoop dream,
Absolutely. No, it's so true. So kind of the last question then, kind of following on from that, if you were to be able to talk to the young Andrew, many years ago or whatever, what's one bit of advice you would give him? And then how would you basically sell this industry to anyone who may be on the fence, who's listening to this, or who's wanting to dabble their toes in it? What kind of, I hate to say inspirational speech would you give? But if you were able to grab just one person who's on the fence, what would you tell them to make them come into this industry and just knock it out of the park?
Well, I'd probably take young Andrew, punch him in the mouth.
Oh, gee. Oh, man. Oh.
It can't be child abuse if it's yourself, right?
Exactly. Definitely not.
In this marriage scenario. No, just know that things aren't going to go as planned, and that can be a great thing. Don't
totally
everything that hasn't gone to plan, every time you've had to pivot and change, at the time seemed like a tragedy.
Yep.
But somehow you're in a better place than where you were before.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back and change a single thing Because whatever it was, the good, the bad, the ugly, the silly, it got me where I'm sitting right now, and it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
But I could have never charted this path even with the crystal ball.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely not. That's cool. Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate your time, and for all the people that are listening, I'm sure you find this as informative and interesting, and it's been awesome to get to know you more. I really do appreciate it. That's a wrap from us here at the Cutting Edge Installs. If you've enjoyed this episode, please follow, subscribe, like us, share it out across wherever it needs to be. For more tools, obviously, FHC, go on their website. If you need to find anything to do with glazing, installing, whatever, go there. Anything to do with tools to help you move materials, to keep you safe, go on omnicubed.com. And until the next time we see you all, cheerio, take care, and all the best.
Wait, don't go yet.
Oh, we're not leaving.
Merv's being way too wildly modest. I spent way too much time talking, but I will say, as a unbiased, I don't sell his product yet. I have used it. I don't owe Merv anything, but I have used their equipment, and I can speak to the quality. And so I do encourage you to check it out.
I appreciate that.
And it's worth the investment.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Well, I didn't pay him to say that, but I really appreciate him bringing that out. So, Andrew, thank you. A real blessing to have you on here, and I hope people enjoy this. And until next time, like I said, cheerio, and we'll see you again soon.